Hi, my name is cuccia-aguirre, and I did my project on probabilities and combinations and found the probability of getting a full house, a 4 of a kind, and a 3 of a kind of a hand of 5. The first step I did was finding the probability of a full house. Based on this example, we have 3 of a kind and 2 of a kind, with 2s and 5s, but you can use any combination. And the equation would be, first choose 2 of the 13 kinds of cards, which would be 13C2, and then in parentheses, out of the 4 cards, what 3 could you get, and out of the 4 cards, what 2 could you get, or as the same. And then I would be all over the number of ways to be dealt 2 cards from the deck of 52, which would be 52C5, which would end up being 6 over 4,165, which is approximately 0.14%. Next, I found the probability of 4 of a kind, and in my example, I have 4 aces and 1 3, but it can be any combination. The equation would end up being to choose 2 of the 13 kinds of cards to be 13C2, and then in parentheses, for 1 card you'd have 4C4 to show the 4 of a kind, and the 4C1 to show the extra, or for the next card, 4C1 and then 4C4. All over 52C2 to show how many ways you can be dealt 2 cards from the deck of 52. And then you'd get approximately 0.24%. Lastly, I found the probability of 3 of a kind, and in my example, I have 3 kings, a queen, and a 5. In the equation, I first had to choose 3 of the kinds of cards, which I chose king, queen, and 5, which would be 13C3. And then in parentheses, I first found the king, which would be 4C3 to show the 3, 4C1 if it were single, and then 4C1 again if it was single. And then I did it again for the queen and for the 5. And then this would all be over the number of ways to be dealt 2 cards from a deck of 52, which would be 52C5, which would end up being 88 over 4,165 to approximately be 2.11%. Thank you for watching my presentation.